The fish have turned right at the jetty.
And the fields overflow with daisies.
There are tulips in the nursery.
There are sharks in the kitchen.
An incorrect reply the first time. I feared someone had acquired your cunning disguise.
I am afraid I used double bluff to elicit a second response to check you knew the sequence and was not an infiltrator.
I see. A good technique.
So then today, I think we should consider the concept of standards and failure.
Why is that? Does it have anything to do with the dreaded?
It does have to do with the recruitmentalists, in that one could incorrectly assume they are only doing their job.
But we know that is not quite the case.
Yes, but others make that incorrect assumption, because they're used to trusting people.
Sad folly indeed. Have they not seen the rapid infestation of the WRM, and have they not wondered why, since there is no product creation?
A good point which seems to have passed these sad creatures by. It would seem that a lack of causality can be ignored when in the pursuit of employment.
Of course, their desperation causes a narrow focus and blinds them to the events around them.
So then, the concept of standards and failure. If you fail to achieve the standard upon completion of a course of study, whom is at fault?
It is always the student, because the tutor must know what they are doing.
One would naturally think that. It would appear to be the obvious conclusion. However, there is the grey area in the meaning of knowing what they are doing. To what does that apply? Is it that they know the subject, or is it that they know how to enable others to understand that subject?
Well, if you put it like that, I think it must be how to enable others to understand that subject. Otherwise, why teach it?
So then how can you evaluate that?
I suppose the exam at the end of the year evaluates that. If the students pass, then the teaching was successful. But of course that is a catch-22 situation, and too late also.
Indeed, and if the students failed, then the teaching was not successful, so the teacher fails, not the student. However, it is actually more of a 50-50 split. Did the student listen and ask questions of the teacher, and did the teacher explain in a variety of manners suitable for the student's levels of comprehension?
It is not quite the catch-22 it might seem then, but that it is a collaborative effort, learning and teaching.
This is also the case for the employee and the recruitmentalist. However, since the WRM is working for the employer, the employee is left out of the loop, so to speak. The onus is left entirely at the employee's door. Did they get the right qualification? Have they acquired the requisite experience? So that in effect, the employee is seen as a key and the job opportunity as a door, but the WRM does not even have to identify the doors, and even when they attempt to, they fail miserably. The whole operation is like the digital age. The answer is either yes or no. The key fits or it does not. The computer says no.
The employee is not the correct fit and is blamed for not being so, whereas it is equally that the record does not have the correct door and they never get blamed for their failure.
So then the standard has not been achieved. The standard is a relative term. It is to be relative to the requirement, and the requirement is to be correctly understood in order to set a standard. Too often the requirement varies, yet a standard by nature is required to be quite static. If you raise a standard, it takes longer to achieve, so you must be sensible as to how high you set it. It is the same as record breaking. Some take longer to break than others. The higher you set a standard, the fewer must be the jobs you have to have for the standard. Hence, the more jobs available, the lower the standard should be set at. However, this all sounds simple, but it is not, because there are an enormous amount of variables. In our ongoing discussion, the recruitmentalists concentrate on the employer's variables, and so the entire system is unbalanced.
So not only is all the money and power at the top, the wreckers look only to the top, and they increase the lack of balance by only feeding the top. They have sunk their fangs into the bloated beast and are destabilizing it still further by only supplying fast food, making it more bloated and weaker.
Yes, you have a marvelous turn of phrase which points out this parasitic infestation for what it is.